and welcome back to rosclarkecraft. I'm Ros Clark, this is my home in real life and this is my home on the internet. I'm rosclarkecraft here on YouTube and also over on Instagram if you'd like to come and say hello. I'm sorry there hasn't been a video for the last couple of weeks. I have been just incredibly busy with work and life, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of the reason for that in a moment. In this video, I'm going to talk about my latest knitting. I was going to say crocheting, but there hasn't been any crocheting. My latest knitting projects, some planned knitting projects, and I haven't actually bought any yarn since the last time I did a video, but some of the yarn I had bought has since arrived, so I will show you that. And then the other thing I'm going to do at the end of the video is a little flip through of my latest sketchbook and things that I've been doing in my art class. I'm not going to talk you through all of that, but there'll just be some images because I haven't talked about that for a long time or shown you the things I've been doing. But I'm going to start with yarn, and I'm going to start with works in progress because there are no finished knitted things. And I'm going to start with this, which I think I showed you this, the beginning of this in my last video, and it has certainly made some progress since then. So this is the beginnings of an Afra pullover. It's a pattern by Isabel Kramer. I will put a link in the box below. It is a round neck jumper with this, let me show you that, patterned, sort of really textured pattern on the front in a panel, and then the back is just plain knit. And it's knit top down. Last time I had just started sort of one of the back shoulder pieces, I think. I might have got a bit further, but I think that's all I'd done. And so you start with those two shoulder pieces that you cast on this one and knit a bit, and this one and knit a bit, and then you join them together where the neckline is going to be, and then you knit down to just where the armholes are going to be, and then you pick up and do the same on the front. So you pick up on this shoulder and then this shoulder and then join those together. And I'm just in this bit where I'm knitting this so until it comes down to match where the back is, and then you join them together and start knitting in the round. So it's a nice way of doing not a lot of casting on or casting off, not a lot of seams to sew up at the end. Then obviously what you'll end up with is a hole on either side, sort of here, back and front, and then you'll pick up stitches there and knit down a sleeve on either side, and then pick up at the end to do the neckband. So I am knitting this in Posh Yarn Eleanor Sport, I think, might be DK, but I think it's Sport, in this really beautiful, I can't remember what it's called, deep sort of fuchsia magenta kind of colourway, and I really love how this is knitting up. I think it's going to be an absolutely beautiful jumper when I finish it. I mean, I'm hoping to finish it because it's yeah, it's not a complicated pattern and it knits up relatively fast. The yarn is not skinny, so yeah, I think while I was working on this a lot, it came together very quickly, and then I've had to sort of put it aside for one or two other projects, but I definitely think by Christmas I'd like to be wearing this. Famous last words. We will see. Anyway, so that's that, which is coming along nicely. One of the things, however, that I've put it aside for is this. So this, I only cast this on last night. You can see it's got a little lacy pattern and this nice sort of scalloped edge that the lace pattern gives it. And then I've just moved on to a plainer section. I don't know if you can see that. This is a plainer section. And I'm just starting to increase over here. I don't know if you've worked out what this is yet. I will show you. Take my spare needle off. It is going to be a mitten, fingerless mitten. It'll come to probably just above my knuckles, and where I've just started to increase is going to be the thumb on that side. I've been looking for patterns for something like this for a while, and I couldn't quite find any that I wanted. I used to have some really beautiful lacy fingerless knittings that I knitted, oh, like 10 years ago probably. And they were so lovely. And then I lost one. And then I've been annoyed ever since that I lost it. And I was like, well, should I just knit that pattern again? And I did think about it because it's really beautiful. That was the Velar Pattern by Isolde Teague. And that's fun because you knit this lacy section sort of in this direction going around, and then you pick up and knit here. And it has a little buttoned cuff, and that was really in the end what made me think, no, I don't want to do that. I haven't got the right buttons, it'll just annoy me. So anyway, this is one that I've sort of cobbled together. It's just a simple feather and fan lace pattern with a 12 stitch repeat. I've done it over 60 stitches. I'm just increasing a little bit here for the thumb, and I'm just doing very simple yarn over pattern in stripes. And then I think I'm going to do another little round of the scalloped bit where it finishes over my hands. And the reason why I wanted to make these, and why I was like, actually I need to stop knitting the jumper and get on with these, is I have got a special occasion to attend in about 10 days time, and it's going to be very cold. Well, I don't know if it's going to be very cold, but we're going to be outside, and it'll be the middle of November, and I assume therefore it will be quite cold. And that is that I'm going to church with the Queen, I hope, Her Majesty's health permitting. A few weeks ago I was elected to be on the General Synod, which is the sort of governing council of the Church of England, and our first meeting is the middle of November. And it begins with, so you're elected for a 5-year term, and at the beginning of the 5 years, Her Majesty comes and opens the General Synod. And before that, there is a communion service in Westminster Abbey, and everybody dresses up. So I've been working quite hard to make sure I've got a suitable outfit. I've got a lovely winter hat, which will be suitable for a winter wedding, beautiful velvet hat. I have got fabric that I'm making a skirt from. I just bought, actually sort of coincidentally, some nice new winter knee-high boots that are very smart. I think I've got things that I can wear with the skirt. I need to have a big sort of try on of the whole thing. And I'm hoping to have finished my pink furry jacket that will complete the outfit. But I was like, actually, I also want to make sure I've got gloves and possibly a scarf. So I had a look, and I've got a scarf that I'll wear, but I couldn't find any suitable gloves to wear. So that's what these are going to be. These are my going to church with the Queen lacy gloves. So they won't be full gloves. They will stop, like I say, about here, but they will keep me nice and warm. So they're quick to knit. That was just a couple of hours last night. I'm hoping they'll be done in a couple of days, and then that will be that. This is also Posh Yarn. I think it's Posh Yarn Winifred, which is a yarn that I've not used before, but I'm enjoying it. I could be wrong about that, and I will check and put it in the description below. I've said before with Posh Yarn, the colourways are not repeated, so I will tell you the colourway because they're always fun, but you're unlikely to be able to get this again unless you can find it, somebody destashing it. But you might be able to get Winifred in another colour that you might enjoy. It's, yeah, it'll be nice and warm, woolly, but also small and light, and they will scrumple up into a pocket very easily. So those are the two things that I'm knitting at the moment. I've got one other thing in plan, although still in, as you see, yarn form. These two skeins, so this one, which is a sort of dark green with a slightly bluish tone to it, and then this one, which is much more variegated. It's got greens in there, but also yellows and pinks and turquoises and really pale colours as well, and that'll be the contrast. And those together are going to be a pair of socks. And I've got a pattern in mind. I'm going to do the slip stripe spiral, which is a pattern I've knitted before. It's very quick, it's very easy, but it's really effective. You get almost like a tartan effect. So you knit the two colours alternately, and then you slip stitches in columns going up the sock. So you end up with columns in one colour and columns in the other colour, and they make like almost a striped checkerboard effect. It's very effective, it's very easy to do, and I think they'll be really nice socks. And those will be not for me, but for a friend who is doing me a very big favour, and I want to do something for her in return, so I'm going to knit her a pair of socks, and I've also got a little present I'm going to send to her with those as well. So that's what's in progress or in plan. What else? This is my new yarn. So I talked to you about this last time, but it's only just arrived. It hasn't only just arrived. It hadn't arrived then, and it has arrived now. This is West Yorkshire Spinners yarn, their signature 4-ply. I don't know if you can see whether it's in focus, but it does say perfect for socks. It is a 75% wool, 25% nylon. And this is the Zandra Rhodes Zandra's Rainbow colourway. I'll see if I can find a photo on the internet of what this looks like knitted up, but it is beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful colours that I think are in a self-striping pattern. So, I mean, I think probably I just want to make vanilla socks out of those, or, you know, a very simple sock pattern, because you just want the colours to be shown off, really, without too much other texture and cables and laces and things getting in the way. So that one is Zandra's Rainbow, and the other one I bought, I mean, I kind of wanted all the colourways, but I was very restrained and I only got 2. This one is called Forest Stripe, so it's got fewer colours in it. It's got a pink, a sort of red, dark green, dark blue, and a bright green, brighter sort of leafier green in it. And I think those will be striped in sort of different widths. There's more of some colours than others. So again, I'll see if I can find a photo of that knitted up so you can see the effect that that has. And these are reared, sheared and spun in Britain. Contains 35% Blueface Leicester. It doesn't say what the rest of the wool is. But it's really good. I mean, I've made socks out of West Yorkshire Spinners before. It's a really good workhorse sock yarn. As commercial sock yarns go, I would say this is my favourite. I mean, I love the hand-dyed sock yarns, but as commercial yarns go, I think the West Yorkshire Spinners would be my go-to. Yeah, Opal is fine, Red Year is fine. You know, there's others as well. They're all fine. But I really love the colours, and yeah, and I think it's got a nice feel to it. Yeah, and those are my colours. So that's good. So that's all I've got. I did just want to tell you about one other thing though. I did not knit this, but somebody knitted it and said, Ros, would you be able to make us some of those? So I am going to do that. I'm going to wait until the mittens are finished and I'm back from General Synod, and then I'll have a little bit more time. What is it, you may be asking yourself? And that is a good question. So it's the end of a sock, that's a bit like a toe, and the cuff of a sock, but there is no foot, there is no heel, there is no leg. It's kind of, yeah, a pretty strange thing. It doesn't fit very well on a hand, doesn't fit very well on a foot. What is it for? Well, I'll tell you what it is for. So a friend of mine had a child, knew someone whose child had their foot in a plaster cast, and the child had said, they were out one time, Mummy, what I need are gloves for my feet, because at the end of the plaster cast her toes were sticking out. And obviously she couldn't put a normal sock on because the cast was too big, but her toes were getting cold. And so I was like, well, I think what you need is a sort of a bit of a sock with enough of a cuff that will stretch over the cast and hold it on. And so that's what she made. And then when the daughter went to her next hospital appointment, the hospital said, that is brilliant. Would you be able to make us some more? And I said, well, you know, how many? They were like, we need as many as you can get. So anyway, my friend at church who knits, she knows I knit, and she's like, Ros, do you want to make some of those? And she puts like the little buttons. You can see this one's got bunny ears on the front, so they're quite fun. And I quite like the sort of contrasting colours as well. These are going to be super quick to knit. They're knitted in double knitting, and like I say, it's just a toe and a cuff. I think I can knit that in an hour, possibly even less. She was like, can I give you some yarn to do it with? I'm like, no, I'm not taking any more yarn into the house. The only thing I will do that's differently, she's given me a little pattern written up, but it's got a seam down the side. I don't know if you can see that. So these are knitted flat. This one was knitted flat and then sewn up the side. I am going to do mine in the round, so I don't have to do the seam, but also just because that's the inside where the seam is. Can you see that? And it's quite bulky, and I think it just could rub against the foot and be a bit annoying. So I am going to do mine in the way that I would knit any other sock, and just knit that in the round, probably top down, because I don't really like doing cast ons at the bottom. We'll see, and then just kitchen stitch it together at the bottom. So I'm going to try and make maybe a dozen of those, but it won't be for a couple of weeks. So I think that is all I have on the yarn front. I've done no spinning, I've done no crochet, I've done some knitting, as you can see, but it's not been a huge amount. I've just been really busy. And I have, to be fair, been doing quite a lot of other things. I have finally got back into doing some sewing. So there will be a video coming soon where I show you, so far I think I've made 4.5 things, and I've got a couple more that I want to finish this weekend. I've also been doing quite a lot of cross stitching, and I've got a video lined up in the next week or two showing you what I've been doing with that, and I'm quite excited about that. So there has been crafting happening, but not huge amounts. So I think that is all I have to say about yarn now. I do want to say, if you ever have any questions, either about things that I am making, or if you have questions about things that you are trying to make that you think, I bet Ros knows then do feel free to leave me a comment, or comment over on Instagram, or send me a message over there, and I'd be really happy to try and answer your questions about anything craft related, or indeed if you want to ask me about other things, you can ask, and if I know, I will be happy to tell you. Good, so I'm going to leave it there, and I'm going to add in at the end of this video just now some of the artwork that I've been doing in my Friday classes as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, I'd love it if you give it a thumbs up. If you didn't enjoy the video, feel free to give it a thumbs down. Either way, add a comment and tell me what you thought about it. Let me know if you've got any questions. Tell me what you're working on at the moment. Have you got winter knitting projects, or are you working on Christmas presents, or have you got special occasions coming up? And is it only me that thinks, oh, special occasion, I better make an entire new outfit, rather than thinking, oh, do you know, there are shops that sell things, or items already in my wardrobe. Anyway, next time I'm back with a knitting video, I will be able to tell you whether I saw the Queen and all about it. And I will probably in the next sewing video hopefully show you the entire outfit when I've finished the last few pieces for that. So hopefully I've got to finish the mittens, I've got a little bit of work still to do finishing the jacket, and I'm going to make the skirt. Hopefully within the next couple of days all of that will be done. Anyway, that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.